Hello, welcome back to Modern Daze. We're at episode 30 now, and this week's question is: what song do you feel best suits the vibe of your character? So our players have known this question was coming up for more than 1 week because we didn't record for the past, I think, 2 weeks, something like that. So they something like that. It's something ridiculous. So they should have all done their homework, and I know for a fact that they haven't. So let's start with Andy.
So my quick Google searching this morning, right? Okay. Actually, I then remembered a song from my adolescence.
Did you though?
You remembered something?
I remember. Yeah,
Now we know you're lying.
Okay.
Now we know you're lying and making it up.
Okay. Sorry, I'm Andy. I play Berin, one of the paladins. He's not a big music fan, but as a song to sort of give his vibe or something like that, I've picked Soul Survivor by Blue Oyster Cult, which
I can see that.
there's some recognition there of people who've heard of it.
Give us a belt of it. I don't know that one, or at least not by the time.
Unfortunately,
we
we
can't play the songs, unfortunately.
We can't play the songs, unfortunately, because it.
No, you sing it to me. Come on.
Yeah, singing it is fine.
God, we got to start singing
right.
these. I'm out.
Oh no!
Can I say?
I made a horrible mistake.
What we can do is put links in the description. So
yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. But
I know
that would mean, Ben, that you need to go and look at the videos. But anyway,
I want to hear a few words of the song.
Can I also point out that Bea and Tom have both heard my singing? I did actually sing in the.
You serenaded Bea and Tom?
No, I sang in the very first session of our Delta Green game.
What's that song? He said words.
Yeah.
Was this like
Was it a
James...
spoken word song?
Yeah.
It was like Data from Star Trek.
It was
singing.
supposed to be an old hippie singing a song badly. And
that
though
guy,
I'm not an old
no,
hippie, I did manage to sing it badly. Anyway, so Soul Survivor by Blue Oyster Cult. I'll put something in the chat now, Ben, so you can have a look at it.
Very nice. All right, next person, next victim. I'm going to go with Ken. Ken.
No surprises. Hopefully, Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones.
Very appropriate.
I thought so.
By the
That's
Rolling Stones.
Good song.
What do you mean by the Rolling Stones ? Who else is it going to be by?
Isn't it covered by? Hang on, let me look this up before I embarrass myself on the internet.
That's too late.
Too late. You've already done
I think we've been doing that for many months now.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of recording these sessions if not to embarrass ourselves on the internet?
Yep, I'm embarrassing myself. It was clearly not who I thought it was. Never mind. And I shall never speak of it again. All right,
Sorry,
cool.
I didn't say I'm Ken. I play Liam, the Ranger.
There you go. Ian, pick on you next.
Yeah. So
I'll just go to the toilet whilst he's doing it. Half hour later.
We'll get started. Pretty much, it's more a band. It's Clannad. Anything by Clannad. It's the sort of mix of sort of soaring vocals and haunting ethereal melodies and stuff. And obviously, Enya is a half elf, so it's not surprising he likes he likes Clannad. So
absolutely.
That canon now.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
100%.
all the best musicians are half elves, obviously. And she also sounds sounds very much like Lady Summer when she sings as well.
Awesome. Okay, let's pick on Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I play Rafi Matthews, and Rafi's song is "Hey Brother" by Avicii. So fairly,
yes,
fairly
yeah,
modern
yeah.
compared to
Nice.
everyone else.
I'm so glad I
Yeah.
didn't choose that in the end.
Oh, wow,
Andy, do you want
really?
to tell him your prediction?
I was convinced you were going to do kung fu fighting.
No.
I thought that.
No.
Everybody,
that
look
was the
to
first
me.
thought, but it's too cliche. No.
Are we not all
All right,
cliche?
Kyle. We are all cliche. Even me. Especially me.
Was that an intro to me then?
That was an interest to you. Go on, Kyle. Take it away.
Okay. Hi, I'm Carl. I play Cadman, the better paladin,
Oh, we're back.
and
Yeah.
I always have to start it and finish it.
Yep.
So, Cadman's song is "See You Again" by Wes Khalifa.
I don't know
Oh.
any of these.
Interesting.
You know what? It's vaguely at the back of my mind. Obviously I know Wiz Khalifa, but
Yeah.
I'm
I'm trying
gonna
to
have
think
to
of the
go
actual
and
song. Be good to
look at
listen
the
to all of
video.
these afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, are you ready, Ben?
Yeah, vaguely. Go on.
Yeah, go on then, Ben.
Um, all right, so let's get this out of the way. Hendrix hates the song "Who Lets the Dogs Out." Who let the dogs out? Even because
that would
basically
come
it's racist, isn't it? So at least that's what he tells people. However, he secretly loves it, and after lots of moaning, he grudgingly joins in with his goblin friend Gully, busking the song for amazed sort of Muggle folk, while Duz and Oik relieve them of their valuables and the occasional treat.
Damn right.
However, more seriously, one of Hendrix's earliest memories of exposure to music was listening to The Smiths with John, and in particular, How Soon Is Now, which is the one from the Charmed TV show, as John was a bit of a closet fan of Charmed. Hendrix kind of it's probably the favourite song of half of the wizards out there, to be fair, but Hendrix feels the song lyrics were written kind of just for him, particularly the bit that says, "You shut your mouth. How can you say I go about things the wrong way?"
So much.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I'm a closet Charmed fan as well. I'm just a closet,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, I'm not a closet. Not a closet. Just gonna leave that sentence there. Anyway, previously on. Hello. Let's start that again. Right. Previously on Modern Days, so 29, we had our players had gone to. Sorry, Hendrix had gone to the Scars Ridge crew to visit Newtboom, the Goblin Shaman. He had got a gift from Gully and returned to City Capoeira, where inside the dojo there was the lodge that Daryl had set up, and you guys had a bit of a chat. Decided that you were going to meet with Mercy Ashcroft the next day, and then on from there, go to this address that had been given by Newtboom about the rumours of a young boy who had been a young teen, I should say, who had been taken in by Hush, presumably in this area of London, after he had escaped from the Crimson Serpents, and therefore may have information regarding the Crimson Serpents. He would likely to be being hunted down, seeing as vampires very rarely like to let their prey get away from them, or their assets potentially. And our party, sort of morning-ish, decided to go over whilst. And actually, I'd like some clarification, because there was some discussions about whether or not you guys went straight to that that market to go meet with this young lad, or were waiting for Daryl and Beren, because I re-watched the thing and I know that we said that you guys weren't there, but I don't know if you guys were meeting them there, like if you're going to turn up at the end of this. So I get you to decide now, depending on time
Well,
wise.
I don't know. It all depends on what time they decided to go, because the meeting with Mercy Ashcroft was like a 9 a.m. meet.
Yeah. So whether or not these guys, right? So this is a question then for Ken, Kyle, Tom, and Ben. Would you have gone the same time the other two are going to meet Mercy Ashcroft, or would you have waited a little bit?
I think we went straight away because we didn't want to lose time on the lead.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I think
Perfect.
I think we were
Yeah.
kind of rushing, weren't we? Because we
Yeah.
We're worried about the safety of
Yeah.
the informant.
yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
rightly.
So then the
All
only
right.
thing to chuck into that then as well is that we that Daryl and Beren we made the meeting as quick and as short as possible, so that we could try
Yeah.
and join them as quickly as possible, because we knew they were going to a situation that might end up in conflict. So we were rushing. So I don't know where we are in time relation behind them. You'll have to decide that. But
Yeah.
we
Don't worry,
weren't
I've got it in my head now.
dawdling.
Perfect. Okie dokie. So you found your way into this craft district. There's kind of like a marketplace with tiny little shops, or tiny little shop fronts, I should say. They seem to go quite far back. Lots of independent craft makers, jewelries, and household items and those sort of things. You stopped outside one sort of market stall type thing, which is out the front of a shop. Spoke with an elven woman there, and the conversation kind of was a bit. They flagged you as suspicious from the interactions you had, and one of the elven people went out back, and right out the back of the shop. Hendrix, invisible, I believe, or just stealth. I can't remember what happened, but basically stealth by into the shop, and overheard this elven person telling some more people out the back that he believed that there were vampires coming, that the vampire people were here, or rather that the vampires had sent people, because obviously it is daytime. So that had been flagged. Hendrix then popped out of stealth and said something along the lines of, "We're not vampires." To which we ended the stream right there, and we will now begin again. In that room, again, forgive the map. There are very few maps that fit my mind's eye, so it is what it is. I've dragged you over. Can everybody see down this area?
Yep.
All right. So you had travelled through, I'd say, about 30-foot worth of shop to get out to this area. So it is a travel distance for most people. You know, you can get there if you're able to hear what's going on, or if things kicked off. And I've put you there, Hendrix, that is in sort of just inside the door, because that makes the most sense as to where you were. Being any further into this room would have put you out in the open. And the youngish looking elven person with the iridescent tattoo pattern on his throat looks towards you, spins on his heel, and releases a spell, which seems to be coming from a wand that is in his hand. Sort of quick draw. So we're going to resolve that first, because reasons, and then we will roll initiative. So,
Okay.
points towards you.
I've got lots of things that might do stuff.
Do you
Depends
have
what
any
it is.
reaction? It's a
Sure.
spell coming towards you. If you have reactions, it will be under your reactions bit on D&D
Ah.
Beyond.
You're
That you
just
can tell me.
taking the piss now, aren't you? I've got
I know.
uncanny dodge.
Yes, you do. Which does that do area effect or an attack?
When an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to halve the attack's damage against you.
Okay. Well, it's got to actually attack
or-
you first because it didn't do that. Oh, never
if
mind.
it's
It
AoE,
probably
then
misses.
Thank fuck for that.
Yeah, I think it yes, it definitely misses. So, you see a spray of like icicles like throw past you, and like ice just dances up the side of some barrels beside you.
Okay.
This person turns around towards his companions, clicks and points towards this sort of ladder area over here, and they seem to understand that instruction. He then pulls out a rapier and closes the gap with you.
Can I, while he's doing all of that, can I say, hey, please, look, I'm just here to talk. I'm not here to attack you.
I'll
Talking
let you.
dog.
I'll let you have. I will let you have a go now. And if you are persuasive enough, obviously.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're going to roll initiative. So,
All right.
what is it that you say? That basically what you've just said.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
Roll me
random
persuasion then.
chatter to show that he's not cool with being attacked with icicles or rapiers.
Weird. Yeah. So, roll me.
Was it persuasion?
Persuasion.
Oh, me. I should have lied, and then I could have used my much better deception. There we go.
I'm a duck. Talking duck.
Oh, well, there's a start.
You're not actually proficient in it, are you?
7. Is it connected this time?
Yeah, it's
Because
come
last
up.
time it wasn't connected.
Yeah. Disconnect. You see
there it is.
the furrowed brow of this elven man. He clearly doesn't believe you. And we're now going to roll initiative. I'd like everybody. Hang on, let me get the turn tracker up first. In this new
Where do you want to put the tokens? Because we need to click
tokens.
on
Yeah, I will do that in a minute. Where's the? Oh, that's turn order now. Okay. Sorry, everything's changed on Roll20, and I'm.
There is a way of actually swapping it back because I found the new system annoying when I was running and didn't realise it swapped over.
Okay, let me bring all the people that are here over onto the screen, but you are currently not in the scene. It's just so you can click your token. So I'm going to put Kevin there. Liam there. Ruffy there. I think that's it, isn't it? I think that's all of you guys.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So click on your tokens. Roll initiative. Oh, you already have. Liam, what was yours? Because I've got you twice on here for some reason.
I just rolled a total of 8.
It was an 8. I've also got Baron on here. Why is this?
Badly.
It's not showing on ours.
No, not showing on ours.
This did this before, but I just pulled it up and it was empty, and now it suddenly had loads of old rolls on it.
I blame Ben.
I blame me too.
Everyone's
I just rolled a 1 for initiative. So it's a good start to the game.
All right. I rolled a 2.
gone real bad. That's
I
okay.
rolled a
I
2
need
and
to
0.
roll.
Yeah.
I need to roll for these guys.
Oh wow.
So,
We are not
Okay, that's
fast
setting the
people.
tone for the night. Yeah.
So, Daryl,
Yeah.
when we need to reform a new party, do you know anyone we can recruit?
I won't
Thought
die.
Yeah,
comes to your head.
they'll work for the shield though.
Thought comes to your head. We need a cleric.
Another paladin, you say?
5 paladins.
5.
What is the technical term for a group of paladins?
A murder.
Paladin.
Disaster.
A murder of
A
paladins.
problem.
A
A problem
disaster.
of paladins.
An aura of
Disaster.
paladins.
A Cromwell of
An aura.
paladins.
That's 3. Oh my god. Some of these rolls are terrible, even from the fucking monsters.
What, apart from the one who rolled 27?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is my main man, so it's fine.
Poor Hendrix. We knew him well.
That's for Hendrix. Oh. Weirdly.
I always knew he was going to end up a shish kebab.
Very strange considering. Sorry. My eye's hurting me. Okay, descending. And let's go. So, starting at the top of the round, is Hush, who uses doesn't seem to be seems to be casting spells, but no verbal verbal components needed. And he will attack. It would help if I actually knew what that was. Oh no, it was a nat 1! Lucky. Lucky man. Okay. So, and I don't know how many attacks he gets. Nope, it's just the 1. Alright then. He seems to look back at his companions and make a sign with his hand. One hand signing. You don't understand what it is, but they seem to know what that is.
This dog's more powerful than I thought. That's what it means.
Yes, yeah.
Hide the
That's
sausages.
exactly what it is. Hide the sausages.
Have you
That
made the
guy
yelping
goes
sound
next.
that dogs always make?
Yeah, I reckon you probably would have heard that yelping sound. You hear
Definitely.
things kicking off. It's not quiet, except Hush himself. So, Hendrix, you can see this young teen boy over here that's being sort of helped up by this other elven woman. He looks to be about 14-ish. He does not look very well. He's very pale faced, sort of rings under his eyes. He also seems to have like a black web of veins coming up his neck. You don't know what it is, but it doesn't look good.
Okay.
And he can travel, he can walk kind of independently, but he's going to wait, like hold his turn for movement until this other elven woman does. This elven person. Actually, this person isn't elven. Just seems to be a regular human who jumps in here.
Right.
And is going to pull out 2 daggers and just attack you from there. So
There's another rogue.
Rouge. Fucking hell. It's another nat 1. But also, does a 14 hit?
No. Luckily.
Wow.
Let me double check. No, it doesn't.
Cool. Excellent. Cool. That's my go, I guess. Liam.
That's a bit rubbish,
with-
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit rubbish, wasn't it? Yeah, that sucks for me. Fucking hell. I have plus 11 to hit on one of those. Plus 11. Anyway,
Marvelous.
Liam, you can hear the sound of scuffling happening out the back of this shop. The woman who was seeing like talking to you initially seems to be distracted by another set of customers.
Bonus action, going to go invisible.
Okay.
And then I'm going to run through the shop to see what's going on.
Right, you can get to within 5 foot of this door. So I'd say you
Okay.
can get in there. All right,
Okay.
I'll put you in there now. If that's where you want to go. But obviously there is people in the way.
Yep.
What do you do?
Okay, I want to. I guess to be fair, I would probably spend the rest of the round assessing the situation because I don't know what's
Okay.
gone on, and I will look and see. Oh, there's 2 guys there attacking Hendrix, and does that look? Are we aware that that's the boy that we are after?
I mean, you don't know what the boy looks like, but you know you're
No.
after a young teen, and there is a young teen
And
there.
we also know that the guy that's protecting him has got this tattoo on his neck, don't we?
Yeah.
We were
See,
briefed about that,
super
so
cool.
I can
So
spend the round looking
passive
around and working out.
perception- Yeah, your passive perception is going to allow you to see what you can see in this room.
Yeah.
So
And
what is
work
on
out-
the
work
board
out
you can see.
That is
basically.
the guy that we're after. There's a teenage boy, therefore this is the boy that we're after.
Likely. Do you want to make me an insight check for your action?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
That's
Make me an insight check.
very good, B.
Thanks. I work hard at being a GM. Hey.
Add another 4 to that because I'm in my favourite terrain.
All right. So you take just a note of the situation. The 2 people that are at the front, one you can see is this elven man who has this iridescent tattoo on his throat, sort of holding a saber that is lancing with green flame energy. There is this other person that just seems like a regular human, but lots of little bits about them that definitely puts them in the category of definitely being part of the magical world. There is an elven woman over here, propping up, like holding up this young lad. You see this black veins sort of choking his throat and up the side of his face. The paleness of his skin. He looks very, very unwell.
Does that set off any memory in me, that black veining thing?
That's where I'm getting to.
Oh, sorry.
So you notice this, and you know that is what happens. It's like a poison when were creatures are bitten by vampires.
Right.
It's what should happen.
What should have happened to me? Yeah.
What should have happened to you? So it doesn't, obviously. You know that this is almost certainly a young were creature of some sort, and they have been bitten.
I also know it's terminal, don't I? There's no cure and there's no way around it.
Well, as far as you're aware, yeah.
Then it didn't
it's
kill me, so
yeah. I mean,
okay.
so there's a room for expanding your knowledge base in that regard. As far as it's concerned to any were creatures, and certainly the people that you've grown up with,
It's fatal. Yeah.
the bite of a vampire is fatal. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically. Okay. So that is your round to do that. You're gauging the situation, and from there you can act. Rafi, it is your go.
Right. Okay. As I'm approaching, so I can move faster as well. As I'm approaching, am I seeing people taking a swing at either Liam or Hendrix?
You're rushing in.
I'm invisible.
You don't see Liam at all, but you see these people. They are in combat. It seems to be defensive, but sort of like they're holding a door area, but it is combat.
Okay. Right.
I'll make room for Rafi to get in as well.
Okay. Well, this all happens at once. So if he goes,
I mean,
he's gonna.
It's a 5 foot thing. I could scrouch up against the side of the door, surely, to let him pass.
So he's let me go through. Okay, I'm. Shit. Okay, fine. Fuck
No
it.
time for the shit.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to
incoming bamboozle.
Yeah.
No, I'm just going to.
There is no
run
just
forward
with Tom.
and just go. Whoa! Calm down. We're not working for vampires. We're hunting vampires. And that's it.
Okay.
So I just want to come in close enough so I can do it. I'll stand behind. Yeah, stand there because I can still hit them if I need to.
All right.
So yeah, persuasion.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. I've got nothing to aid with that.
All right.
Nice.
So this this person at the front, the one that you can assume is Hush, is still very much in the aggressive fox sort of backup sort of stance. He looks at you and Hendrix and it's just he's going to gauge. I'm going to let him do an insight check on probably in retaliation. I'll just do it as it is. I'll just do it now. Then wait. Okay. So you see he's taking a moment, and this other mook, as it were, is now waiting on his instruction. Has kind of just looking between both. Definitely been convinced. Yep. This goes. So is that your go? Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
I'm not holding any. Well, the only action I will hold an action if somebody goes to attack Hendrix or myself. I'll want to smack them first.
Right. So this elven woman, starts moving with the boy, and they get over to there. She is shuffling him away. All right. In fact, they're going to use double movement. Does that make sense? And they'll get over to there. So she'll start pushing him up the stairs, which will take a little bit. Hendrix, it is your go. There is a current stalemate. Yeah. Hendrix. Sorry, Cadman's right at the bottom, and I was thinking I'd missed him, but.
No.
Bless you. Ben, are you there?
You're muted, Ben.
Bugger. There was me talking away.
That's so funny.
Gold, drops of gold it was.
Would have been much funnier had we seen the video so that we could see you talking away. That's because that's hilarious.
Thanks.
Right.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to do my blink thingy.
All right.
Because I'm getting nowhere trying to talk to this guy. So, and I also don't want to hit him or be hit. So I can't remember how far I can go with that.
30 foot.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. That is there
There, yeah.
round this. Or you can move over to here.
No, I'll go. I'm going up the
Ollie.
up the room.
This way.
So yeah, there. I think. Is that all right there?
Yeah, perfect.
Cool.
So you blink and reappear over there. Do you say anything or you just do it?
What after I've moved? I don't say anything before I've moved.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Could I those stairs are they Could they be run up by me, or is it like a ladder?
The ladder, and there's already 2 people on it, so I would say
Okay.
no, and also you're a dog, so no.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That was my
yeah.
question. Is it?
Sorry,
It's
can you
not
go
something
on
a
over?
dog could do.
It would
Okay.
certainly be a blink
This
action for you if you had to.
This stuff over here, that's over the other side of the room, is that tall enough to leap up to get onto this higher level? Like, could he go
What stuff?
onto the barrels and the boxes and then onto this higher level?
What stuff?
Yeah, that stuff.
Are they okay? I'm gonna say no. And
Okay.
the reason I'm saying no is because I've allowed you to blink from there to there without and this stuff would have got in the way otherwise. So if that's low enough, then that's low enough. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fair. Yep.
Because it has to be in line of sight. So unfortunately
Sure.
not.
Okay.
You do still have movement, normal movement, because a blinking, I believe, is a
It's like a standard
Bonus
action.
It's standard action, yeah.
It's a bonus action for you because you can still attack normally.
Is it?
I don't know. I've got to find it now and look at it and read it and.
So,
God.
I'm on your sheet now. I'm going to look.
You do that. You'll probably find it before I do.
I will. Probably.
Blink teleportation.
I'm
I
very
found
sure.
it. Bonus action.
It
to
has
an
a bonus action.
unoccupied area.
So you have your action.
Okay. Look, there's even a little uses box there. I didn't even know that. I'm going to tick that there.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay. So, do you know what? I'm quite tempted just to hide. Can I hide?
I'll allow you to hide in amongst that stuff. I could say there's like a canvas covers that are just loose that you can hide yourself quickly underneath.
Great. Get away from psychos with green rapiers.
Roll me a stealth check.
Okay.
Which is going to be ridiculous anyway, but roll me anyway.
27.
Yeah, there we go.
That I can do.
All right.
Convincing elves, I cannot do.
All right, Cadman.
I'll stroll up to where everyone else is.
Casually.
No point running.
Alright.
Everyone else seems to be putting the stalemate on. We are not enemies. We are here for information so we can stop the vampires.
All right, now you make me a persuasion check.
I'm going to
And
hold
what
out
do
my
you look
hose
like
and
as
we'll
well?
try and help.
Right.
What did I last look like?
That will. You're holding out your holy symbol, and so you get it with advantage. What did you say? Sorry, my brain just malfunctioned.
So what did I last look like?
I can't remember. I think it was a City Capoeira student. You've been like that for a little
Yeah,
while.
that was ages ago, wasn't it? I
I
just
think it's
like
just
a
been a
changed back
while.
to-
normal
Yeah, you changed
person.
back to that after the policeman. Yeah.
Mm.
I'll just be a general person.
General person. Average Joe. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
They're starting to look like this guy is like frowning at the disappearing dog and kind of doing this kind of head search around. Looked towards you and Rafi. Definitely confused now, more than defensive, more than aggressive. And he does start to lower his sword. And it is now his go. So unless you're doing anything else, are you doing anything else as bonus action or anything?
No.
Okay, so it gets to his go, and I made him do his insight check. So he kind of regards you both, very very slowly backs away to about there, signaling for the other person to also come with him. See, it's not their turn yet. And sheathes his sword and makes some movements with his hands. It's almost like signing, but not a signing you've ever. I don't think you would have encountered before. And from that, magically, the sound of somebody saying, "Okay, everyone, calm down. Let's talk." And unless anybody's going to do anything, I'm going to stop. I'm going to just close the initiative order and put it to the side.
We
for
were
now.
told this guy guarding him doesn't speak, weren't we?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
he didn't say it. He used his hands and magically a phrase was spoken. Yeah. Which anybody with any proficiency in Arcana can, if you have proficiency in Arcana, you can make a little roll.
I've got
See-
a +1, but I'm not proficient.
I'd say not then.
No.
Okay.
That
Cool.
was my point.
So you all, so we'll allow you to come into this room. This woman sort of gets this young boy down, but like they're gonna stay by the stairs for the moment. This
Liam, are
guy.
you still invisible?
No.
Oh, you popped out of invisibility.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
It only lasts around. So
Okay.
until my
So
next.
you would have come
Yeah.
visible then. So yeah,
Yeah.
he'd looked at all three of you then. So yeah, I think Hush regards you all and using the movements again says, "Who are you? And how did you know to come here?"
So, we're doing a little job. People that we who are trying to screw with us and screw everything up, as far as we can tell, are the ones that hurt your mate.
As you're
I'm
speaking, the elven woman that was at the front of the store comes running in, and she's all like, "Hey, oh," and then sees you're all talking, and Hush is sort of like, and she goes, "Okay," and nods and goes back out the back again. So you can continue speaking, just because she's just realised that you've left, that you've all rushed past her.
So, basically, your mate, who seems to be fucked up, seems to know about who fucked him up, and he's likely to be the people who are fucking everything up for everybody within London, and have caused the Shield to come down to London and put their jackboots in.
He cocks his head, and he says, "Crimson Serpent, Brang, Order of the Shield."
No. Because of all the fuck-ups that's going on, the shield have come down, but we think all the fuck-ups are the responsibility of the Crimson Serpents.
There's something going on. What my friend is trying to say is there's something going on, and the Crimson Serpent are involved. We aren't sure quite how yet. We became aware of your friend having escaped them, and they have information that we need to stop these events from occurring. And we came to try to find him before they got hold of him again. And if you can point me to any Crimson Serpent, please happily do so, because I will kill the lot of them.
Yeah, he's got a thing for killing vamps.
They need destroying. They're messing with the circle balance.
And he's got a
Hush
thing for
nods.
circles.
Says, Celine, bring the boy over here. And she starts walking around. And she'll bring him back over to where they had made this kind of like little makeshift bed area that he was staying on. There's like a bag of his belongings still there. She'll kind of gently bring him over so he can sit down again. He's very, very shaky, very weak.
Well, as they come over, can I go with them? Because I want to look at him.
Yes, so she's quite sort of like she's helping him and everything like that. She's just keeping an eye on you, not aggressively so, but just to make sure that you're not doing anything. He sort of shies away from you at first, but sort of whatever you're doing, just describe to me and
I
what it
just
is that you're looking for.
wanted to. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm interested to see what's going on basing on my understanding of how it all works. I
Okay.
don't think I've even got medicine. I have got medicine, but I'm not proficient in it. But just to see if
You
I
can-
can see what's going on and maybe
I'd say you can do
make some deduction or something, just to help him
Okay.
at the very least.
Make a medicine check. You can make one even if you're not proficient. Okay. You know he's in a lot of pain, and because of your knowledge of what this does, so you've already clocked him as a were creature.
Yeah.
But you can't say how much time he's got left, or even if
Yeah.
he can be cured. You have no idea.
Okay.
Hush says, "What are your names?"
My name's Liam O'Brien.
I'm Rafi.
I think we need to get this fellow help quick, because he's in a bad way. Do you know what's happening to him?
We don't know. We know he's in a lot of pain.
He's
We
been
wanted
bitten.
to get him
He's
to
been
his family.
bitten by a vampire, and he's a were creature like me, like myself. He hasn't got long left. As far as I know, it's fatal. We need to get him to some really powerful medical practitioner pronto. Otherwise, all of that information is going to die with him.
Hush says, I think, hang on, let me just look at stats of somebody at the moment. Yeah, so the woman that's with him, so you see him sign, and out comes a phrase that says, Celine, can you help him at all? And this elven woman sort of looks around this young boy again and goes, I can try and do what I did yesterday. But that seemed to help for a little bit, but it just comes back. So she starts casting
Have you tried?
something. I think as a paladin, knowing the cleric spell list and things like that, or knowing of cleric spells, she's casting a greater restoration. And she places her hands
Okay.
on his shoulders,
Ooh.
and sort of like a golden glow seems to retract some of this black webbing, and he looks a little brighter, but it hasn't done 100%. He hasn't cured it. Basically, it's just kind of delaying an inevitable potentially. Hush signs and says, "Do you?" And I think he directs this at Liam, and says, "Do you know his family? Can you take him to them? Will they know how to save him?"
I don't know his family, and I don't. As far as I know, there's no way to save him. But I was bitten, and I didn't die, so I know it's possible.
You hear the very weak voice of the young boy talking to you, Liam, and he goes, "You didn't die."
I didn't. No, I wish I would. I wish I had.
Oh, goes back to being quiet again. And Hush is kind of just a little lost in this moment, and he goes, "All I know is that I need to keep him safe from the Crimson Serpent. They
You know where
have
they are? Do you know where their base is?
Matthew here said yesterday that he had escaped from a lesser used, well, unused train station in London, which he then gives you an address, and it is an address of one of those like haven't been used in like decades,
Abandoned
kind of
station.
abandoned and bricked up. Yeah, but he had apparently
So the underground ones or the overground ones?
underground station. And he Hush explains that Matthew had told them that when he arrived yesterday, when he was taken in rather, that he had spent quite a few hours in this rather maze type tunnel system that has a lot of dead ends and a lot of things and a lot of vampires patrolling it. So he spent a lot of time trying to get out, but he can't tell you where their base is.
That's a good start. And whilst we're searching for the base, we'll be finding lots of vampires to kill. So I'm happy.
So
Which is a first. I've never seen him happy.
Oh, don't worry, it won't last long. Because we're probably all going to die doing this anyway.
Oh boy.
I think the elven woman looks at you with kind of like trying to size you up.
Has anybody got a phone that I can borrow? Mobile.
Yeah, sure.
No, I don't use the things.
I don't either. That's why I'm asking to borrow one. But I do know numbers.
Sure, no problem. Here you go, mate.
I want a phone.
Hush says, just before you do that, Hush says, "Where's your dog?"
He's probably eating all your Mars bars.
All your sausages, if you have any sausages.
Hendrix, where are you, boy? Come on, boy.
You muted again, Ben.
I love this idea.
Ben's muted. Oh, it might be AFK at the
I
minute.
think
He
might be AFK.
He did say he was going AFK.
No, that was Andy. He's
All
come
right,
and gone.
was it? Okay. Hello. I'm going
go on, Ken.
to phone the doctor guy, if I can.
What, Dr. Westfield?
Yeah.
Okay. So
that's the only. He's been examining me. He might have some clues as to how to
all right.
help this guy. But
So
that's all I've got.
you put in the number. It rings. Fairly long while, but you know,
He's often off somewhere.
He's or he's in the middle of something, and you know you need to give him time to come out of either what he's doing or he's not going to answer. So you do wait a little bit, but eventually he does answer. And he goes, "Who is this?"
It's Liam. How are you doing?
Ah, Mr. O'Brien. Didn't expect to hear from you.
No, I wasn't going to talk to you, but
Hmm.
I've come across a fellow with the same affliction that I had. He's dying. Have you got any idea how we can, why I didn't die, and if we can help him?
He has been bitten.
Yes.
Can you get him to me in time?
I don't know. I don't know how long it's got. There's somebody here helping to keep it at bay, so I guess that gives us time if she comes with us.
He seems to be thinking for a little bit. And he says, okay. I will send a driver. Where are you?
Oh, put the hand, I think. Where? This is a doctor guy that's been working on me and experimenting on me as to why I am like I am. He says he might be able to help, and he's going to send a driver to take this boy to him. Where shall we say we want to be picked up from? Because I don't know.
So Hush says, don't give him this address. Tell him
no,
to go to the theatre on the
that's
corner.
that's why I was asking. I realised not to say where we actually were. What do you think I am, stupid? Don't answer that, Rafi.
While he's doing this,
yeah, go on.
I want to walk up to the lad and I want to spend 5 points of lay on hands to either neutralise a disease or poison.
Yep. You feel the magic pulsing through him. It's definitely sort of taken an effect. He looks marginally better at best. Pretty much exactly the same effect as what the woman did to try and, cause this to go away, but it's not working. It is more than what you're able to do, basically.
Yep.
But he looks thankful. He's starting to actually got a little bit more colour in his cheeks. And I think, hang on a second, let me just roll something.
I mean, if I'm near him, he's got +4 to saving throws if he needs it.
Oh yeah, no, it's not that. It was more to perceive something. And he sort of like nods at you, and then kind of a little furrow of his brow as he looks at you where you touched him on I'd say on the knee or something like that, just to kind of you can see the little cogs in his mind of that didn't feel like a human. Stone man just touched me.
Yeah, thinking about that.
Yeah.
Kevin doesn't think about those things.
Liam, you are given an address by Hush, which is the theatre on the corner, so it's a little way down the road.
Right.
He explains to you that there is an alleyway that leads down the back, sort of nice and discreet, that we can go down and meet the guy literally at the side of the theatre.
Cool.
But you're still on the phone to Westfield at the
And
moment.
I will pass that on to Westfield.
Okay.
Come on, pick us up from here, and I'll give him the address.
He says, "I will inform the council. They will send some. They will send their transport." And he hangs up the phone. So, I think he gives you a time frame of. He gives you a time frame of 15 minutes. So you have 15 minutes before you're about to be picked up. If you're going with him.
Yeah, I'm going to go with him.
Okay. Right. So
I don't know if
what are you
anybody
doing
else wants to come along. Arrival will be here in 15 minutes.
We need to get in touch with
Awesome,
Baron
I'll be back
and
in a minute. Say that.
Ben and Daryl, let them know where we're going. Are we going just to drop off, make sure that the kid's safe, and then heading straight to this tube station?
I don't know. I want to get to the tube station, you know, but I also feel obliged to help this lad. It's unusual for me. I've got something that's stopping me wanting to go and kill vampires.
Here's
Hasn't
the
happened
thing.
before.
What can you do at this doctor's to help the lad? Or have you done everything you can do by getting him?
I don't know.
to the
He might need to take some part of me out again.
Right.
He's done lots of experiments on me, cutting me open and digging around, investigating, taking bloods and samples.
Okay. So in that case, do you have the doctor's address?
I do.
Right. In that case, we'll go with you and the kid, or we'll follow. No, we'll follow in the van, and then we'll get Baron and Daryl to meet us outside, whilst you're inside with the doctor.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can
and then
catch them up.
Exactly.
Okay.
Happy with that, Liam?
Oi, that sounds like a plan.
Right.
So just reiterate
And
the
of
plan
course-
for me because I was away.
Okay. So Daryl is going to go with the kid to the doctor's. Me and Cadman
Liam
are
is
going to
going
follow
with
in
it.
the van. I'm about to offer space in the van for any of his mates, and then whilst we're on the way there, we're going to call Daryl and Baron and say, give them the address and meet them outside the doctor's, whilst Liam goes into the doctor's with the kid.
All right.
I would
So-
possibly say that.
Are we
I'd
not
like
on
to
a
go
limited
far
time
with-
frame with this this vampire doing a ritual to suck all the magic out of the things? Ritual circles or whatever they're called.
But they should be asleep now. Is that right, Liam? And what were you saying, Cadman? Sorry.
I'd like to go in the car just in case it takes a turn for the worst. I've got some magic that can slow it.
Okay.
All right.
So,
So,
Liam, are they going to be asleep now, or are they likely to be able to carry on this ritual then?
I think they'll probably be asleep right now.
So you know that being underground, they don't have to be asleep, but
But
obviously-
they still need to take rest.
Yeah.
I don't know
depending on whether it's in
how
shifts
powerful they
or
are.
yeah, basically. So during the daytime, even underground, they're more likely to be asleep. But the more powerful ones are probably they can stay awake for like weeks. You know, they don't need sleep until it's needed, and then they'll sleep for like a month. But that's powerful vampires. So,
Possibly, Rafi, they could still be awake and doing stuff, but most of them are going to be asleep, I'd say.
So,
you know, Liam, you know that the Westfield's lab is actually quite a bit north to where you are, sort of a little bit up from I don't know where that would be roughly, but certainly further away than you would prefer to be. But because of what Westfield has said about it being 15 minutes to get to you, you think that maybe he's going to bring you somewhere within London.
Right.
So because
meet me
quite,
somewhere. Yeah.
Either that or he's got another lab. You know,
Yeah.
he's quite
That's just what I was thinking. He's quite well
resourceful.
connected, isn't he? Yeah.
He's got So after the 15 minutes go, Hush leads you guys out back of this shop you should have come back to the starting page now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So,
who did you phone? Did
you
you
are
phone?
led out to the side alley alongside this
Have
theatre.
we managed to contact Andy and Ian?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Do you want to do that now? If you're doing that within that 15 minutes.
Rafi was doing it.
Okay, Rafi.
Yeah, I was just going to call and say,
Who are you calling?
give him
Ghostbusters.
yeah. Whoever's number I've got, because I can't remember if either of you have a phone.
They both have phones.
We both have phones.
You-
Both have phones.
Yeah,
It's
and
probably-
you swap numbers.
Probably Baron then, because it's easy to answer a phone in a car than on a bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And basically, slight change of plan. Meet us at this location, and we'll fill you in with what's happened.
okay, hang on. So let me just find out what that location is. Is this out of London? B.
So the location where they are now isn't. So you.
No.
clearly meet them
The
there.
location where you're saying to meet.
They don't know. Well, I'm assuming it's where you are now because they don't have a location of where they're going.
Ah, right. So what?
Oh, yeah, that's right, because it's a different place, isn't
You
it?
don't have the location. Yes.
Yeah.
You have the location of the theatre
Yeah,
in
sorry,
near
West-
Jacob.
where they are
and-
right now, and you have 15
West-
minutes to get there, which is doable. And I will say because of time it took to have the times these guys took to walk around that marketplace to find the right place, etc. It's going to take you just as long to meet them there. So you.
Oh, so we're nearly at the market.
You can just
So we
Yeah.
can.
you can
Other
go
theatre.
to where they're asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other theatre,
At sort
yeah.
of like at the end of this 15 minutes, you turn up, and so does the transport.
Okay.
All right.
So when we all meet up, so the plan is to go with this boy to.
The doctors.
Do we need to? Isn't there an urgency to go and?
This yeah. So basically, this doctor may need something of Liam. So Liam wants to go in case he needs to draw blood, etc., 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 to help the kid. Do we really want to be going fighting
only-
vampires without our vampire?
Oh
hunter?
no! We need to go together, all six of us.
It's only 15 minutes drive, and then we can ascertain what needs to be. Then we can be back down the station hunting vampires within the
We're still going
hour,
to do it today.
probably.
Yeah.
So pulling up outside this theatre in a rather nice looking car. I don't know. B doesn't know cars very well, but it's a nice car. I'll let you guys decide what it is. And there is a dwarven man sitting in the driver's seat. And I think both Daryl, probably maybe Baron, might recognise this person, having worked for the Mages Council. This guy's name is Marcus, and he's the driver. He's basically like emergency non-portal transport to a lot of different places. A lot of councillors like to use him when they're not going to be using teleport circles and things like that. But he only sticks to cities and like built up areas. He doesn't drive like out into the sticks. He's not about that life. But he is exceptionally good driver. And he sees you and he goes, "You all right? Get in."
I'll get in. I'll
And
wait.
whoever wants
I'll
to
help
get in.
Troy in.
Yeah, so it is bigger on the inside, because magic. It's almost like it's very, very nice car again, but it's just like extended, almost like a limo, but from the outside it's like a normal size car. And you guys can get in. If everybody's going, you can all go. Hush and I think Hush actually sees that there's enough people with this boy, and stops Rafi before you get in the car, and says to you, "Please tell us how he does, I can't leave here. We're going to be expecting vampires still coming looking for him, and I need to stay with my people.
Understood. Is Serene going with him?
No, she needs to be here with me.
Right. Okay.
So he
Listen.
nods towards Cadman and says he seems to have the same magic she does. Or at least in
Listen.
Hush's mind.
Here's my number. Yeah.
He takes out a mobile phone and kind of swaps deets with you.
I've got one of those little card things that you just tap and all my socials go onto it.
I'm not sure he's quite that techie yet, but he's definitely there. He's definitely there. He likes.
You don't need to.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need to be techie. That's the whole point. It's embedded in the card. You
No,
tap.
what I mean is.
Oh, his phone's not
doesn't have
smartphone.
that.
He's
Yeah.
not got smartphone.
I know how it works.
Yeah.
B is techie. I know how it works. It's just
Yeah.
he doesn't have that to return. He just gives you his number.
Yeah.
So then you guys get in the car, and Marcus hits the road. He drives through London like it was the widest roads and the clearest roads. You never seem to hit traffic. And within 20-25 minutes, you are in a completely different area of London, coming up to a large building that looks like it was like an old, just an old townhouse type thing, that's obviously been made into a clinic. Probably got the lab in it, as it were, and it's got its own sort of private car park and everything. So you go into the car park, and everyone starts filtering out. The feel of the place feels a lot. That you feel like the haze, the dazes around this sort of area. So you feel like this is very much a magic people's place to come. So you're a little bit freer to be
just
as well.
on the brief journey. Well, I got a question. Yep. What skill is it to do some sort of trying to find information on the internet using a computer? Is it just investigation skill?
Yeah, investigation.
Right. So Rafi, you're taking your van, aren't you?
Well, I was going to, but you.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Yeah, no, I was going to, but when you recognised this guy as the driver and told us about him, I was like, "Hey, I can never keep up with him."
Okay.
You would never be able to keep up with him.
Okay, so so I don't know whether I can maintain an internet connection from the back of his van, but
yeah,
I pull out
just about. It's very spotty because it's technically an interdimensional space, but it's like so subtle.
Okay, so once is there a name for the disused underground station?
I don't personally have a name, but I will give it has a name.
Yeah.
You have the name.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just going to try and see if I can find any details of because I've got a computer with a wireless dongle, blah blah blah. I'm going to try and do some searching on that, to try and find any maps or anything like that.
Yeah.
13 is probably not enough.
So you find the obviously you find it on Google Maps. You know the location of it and how to get there. You learn a little bit of information about when it was shut down, say sort of like 30, 40 years ago. It had been condemned, and like public weren't allowed into it or near it, etc. It was found to be too unsafe for renewal, revival, whatever, which you suspect was probably a way to keep more, mundane people away from it. You you don't find out much else, unfortunately. You certainly don't find any like network tunnel map type things. I'd say you might
but-
know that it's linked. It used to be linked to one of the current
Okay.
train stations.
So
there is a potential there.
So it's a branch off an existing line rather than a disused station on an existing line. So it's not, because there are actually stations that you, if you look at the window, you can see them as you're going through them on the underground. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I kind of wanted that, but I also don't want, because of how I've logistics things, I didn't want to use one of those because I don't want there to be trains coming to and from for the purposes of this. So I'm going to say it's like one of those
disused branch ones.
Train lines, that was just the whole branch is not used anymore.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Oh, so am I able to get
anybody else?
Am I able to get any? I'm assuming I can't get any actual maps of the train line it was on, or any more details than that. No, sorry, no, not with the 13. No, okay.
Probably not. No, I'm afraid not. I think it's just it was before the age of the internet, and nobody's bothered to put it on yet.
Yep,
somebody has that information, but they just haven't bothered to put it on yet. So.
Yep. Okay.
So, or either that or it's on deep web train enthusiasts, and it's like it requires a bigger search to go into it. But is anybody else doing anything whilst this journey is happening?
Yes, checking over the boy, make sure he's okay, keeping up, talking to.
You see,
Kevin.
at the rate of you guys chatting with him, it's not like super spreading. From what Hush said, he had come like yesterday. Obviously Hendrix found out this stuff from Newt Boom at about 5, 6 o'clock at night. So they had got that information beforehand. So he had been there almost 18 to 20 hours at this place. But this spread can take a long time, but you know that he's at a stage right now where it can. The thing that's working for him is he's young, and his body's obviously quite resilient. But he's becoming weaker and weaker every time a greater restoration or lay on hands is being done. It's wearing him out. He probably hadn't slept. It's very, very painful, and you can see the concentration on his face where he's listening to everything that everybody's saying, but he's just tired. He's shaking. He's pale. Not doing good.
I'm also going to be. I know he's not going to be very up for it, but I will be trying to get information out of him whilst we're going on, numbers, what they were doing, what he was doing there.
I'm going to get you to roll me just a straight charisma check, not persuasion or anything like that, because this is a multitude of things going on, and it's you trying to gauge throughout the whole journey bits of information. He's like very, very.
I really lay on the Gaelic charm.
Yeah, he like
can't actually understand the brogue
with the 4.
Yeah. He's listening to you, but everything that he tells you seems to be repeated. None of the information seems to be super useful to you.
Okay.
He's telling you stuff you kind of already know, basically, but he is answering as best as he can. He just can't concentrate. So you turn up at this old townhouse, and coming out of the car, there is already a woman waiting there with a wheelchair for this, and Dr. Westfield is also waiting next to her. Sort of as soon as the boy is brought out, they bring the wheelchair round. He's sort of placed in it, blankets and everything, and then they take him straight inside. Dr. Westfield, for everybody, Andy, did you put up the picture of Dr. Westfield, or should I?
Have I got a picture of Dr. Westfield? Oh, I do. Yes.
shared it at the beginning. It's all right. I'll do it.
Yeah, no, I've
'cause
put
it up now. So.
Okay.
Well, now we've both done it.
Was there a picture of Marcus, by the way?
There isn't, unfortunately. Annoyingly, there is no picture that
that's right. That's right.
accurately describes him. He's a rather modern-looking dwarf man. And just because I really love this NPC that I made, you can tell he's a ranger, and his preferred terrain is cities, which means he can never be slowed by traffic. Nothing can beat his movement, and hit the car is a fine steed spell, so the car is magical.
Way
Because
cool.
I'm a nerd and I love that.
That is way cool.
But yeah. Anyway, rather unimportant. He eventually leaves as well. Obviously now that well, he I think he sticks around just to see what you guys are doing.
I'm going to say to him.
And
sorry, apologies. I will say to him, please can you stay around.
Yeah.
We are on important business for the council.
Right you are.
We will need a lift back into London.
Right you are.
Cool.
And he's just a man, a few words. And he sits there and waits. He just rolls the windows down, seems to be enjoying life. So Dr. Westfield looks back at you briefly, Liam. Kind of makes eye contact.
Yeah, I'm going with
him.
him.
Yeah. But he looks back at you and then sort of like scans over your friends and then back to you sort of with a question in his eyes of friends, and are they coming?
I'll nod, and if they come, that they come. But I'll give him the nod that they're sound.
Okay.
All
right.
There was a comment from Liam, which has that been relayed? Where bits have been he cut out bits of me as part of experiments. That
wasn't relayed?
Okay,
Hasn't been
That was not
relayed.
relayed. Yeah.
So they go into this lab, sort of up into this building. The first part of the building just seems to be like almost like waiting rooms or like triage rooms, etc. And then as the further you back you get into this to the building, which has like an extension built onto it, is this entrance to this lab. And there's two parts, and you guys are only led into the first part. But it has like viewing glass that you guys can see through to the other side. There are more people inside that kind of like milling around doing different things. As you go past certain rooms, you can see that there are very few patients here, but patients that you do see seem to be of like a magical nature. There's like an elven man here and elderly looking goblin and that sort of thing. They take him through to this lab. I don't think they actually fully bring him out into it. There's a lot that they need to do, so you're like left there for quite a while. Liam, even you're not allowed into the actual lab itself. So
how long is quite a while?
Well, Westfield, I think before you even get in there, Westfield's going to be like, this is going to take a long time. This is not a quick thing.
Do you need me at all? Do you need me at all, do you know?
I think he hadn't considered it until you said, and then he goes, let me conduct something first. It will take 20 minutes, and then I will come and see if I need you. Are you sure that you're willing to... Who is this boy?
Nobody, but he's a kindred soul.
Right. Okay. And yeah, he goes out and you don't see him. So you guys are in this like waiting area thing, and you can see all these lab equipment on the other side of this glass.
I think we go off whatever he says. If he needs me, I'll stay here, and you go. Otherwise, we all go. We can't wait. Can't wait any longer.
Yeah, we in that 20 minutes we fill Baron and Daryl in with everything that happens, etc.
Right.
So they're all up to speed. I mean,
What
fully
time
up
of
to speed,
day?
not just brief.
So what time of day is it?
Still quite
Lunchtime.
early, isn't
Uh,
it, I guess?
Probably about 11, half 11.
Okay.
Because you guys left quite early.
Okay.
So it's still very, very early in the day. Clock sort of ticks in time, and about 22 minutes go by, and then Westfield comes out. He's obviously just had been just doing paperwork by the look of it. He's just sort of putting things away, and he comes out and he goes, right. I think it's worth a try, as I don't think he'll survive it otherwise. Regardless, he's not going to survive this. Does he understand what it is that you're asking? He's addressing this to you, Liam.
Does who understand what? You've confused me.
Does the young boy you brought in understand what it is that you want me to do?
I want you to save him.
Yes, at the cost of becoming like yourself, yes?
No.
Well, that's what's going to happen. If I use your blood, it will only, I imagine, and we are theorizing here, it will do exactly that. It's not going to have any other outcome to it. So do you want to do this, and is he aware?
No, he's not aware. I haven't haven't explained it. There's no other way. There's no other ideas or anything that you know of.
The first time I learned about how the vampiric bite affects were creatures was when we came to know each other. And my knowledge beyond that is probably more than most, but certainly not enough to know if there's a miracle cure. I think anything but strong magics, which would take a lot of convincing of those that could wield it, would save this boy.
Okay, I'll come and have a chat with him. What do you guys think?
Right.
It's down to him at the end
Don't
of the
hold
day.
anything.
I don't know if I'm going to assume this is relayed to Baron, but
Yeah.
You're all there in the room.
yeah,
Yeah.
you commented you made a comment earlier that apparently that it might have been better to have died rather than become what you are.
That's only because my whole family was slaughtered in front of me.
Okay, but
also, yeah, it's not very nice being a vampire and being forever hungry for blood. But I'll explain that to him. It's his choice
Give him
then.
all the information, then it is his choose his own fate.
There's always a chance. When we were on that bubble realm, the one of that funny looking bird woman was trying to imply that there's some kind of a resolution where I can get rid of the curse of the vampiric touch and the lycanthropy and become something greater. So that's a potential for if I couldn't work work that out, I could help this boy in the future. But I'll explain it
Yeah.
all to him, and then it's his choice. You can't see any. There's no obvious no or yay to this. It's his choice. Yeah, you're happy with that, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It's not for us
All right.
to choose. It is only him.
I'll go through with Westfield and explain to Marcus. I'll sit down though.
All right.
What with him?
No. Marcus
got
is the
to- I got-
driver. Matthew is
Oh,
the boy.
sorry, Matthew. I've got some bad news for you. I've got some bad news for you. This is why I always
Okay,
say it's going to turn
so-
out shite. Because I'm
So
always
Matthew
I'm not
is
wrong.
out the back. He's in a bed. It's got a lot of like grips and cannulas in sort of like various veins and whatnot. They've got him in a lot of monitoring machines. You can see in the sort of 20 couple of minutes that you guys have been waiting, that black vein has spread up again into his face, and his eyes are bloodshot and he's very shaky and tired. The woman that was with him, obviously there's a couple of assistants still sort of milling around. They kind of give you some space. The nurse that had sort of wheeled him in has taken a load of details from him and had been talking to him, making sure that he was comfortable, etc. She nods to you and then gives you the room, as it were, to sit and talk with this guy. You can see from his notes that is clearly on the table here. His name is. You can see his name. It says Matthew, and then a last name, so you can see who that is. And he's sitting there, and he notices you come in, and you can sit next to him.
Has it got his family history and stuff? Has it got his family? Has he got relatives or?
No, but
any
you do
information
see a
like that?
word that's on the piece of paper that means were rat. So he is
Okay.
a were rodent. But he doesn't seem to have much family notes on there. Maybe he was just too in pain, or
Yeah.
is reluctant to tell them potentially.
Okay.
So
Okay, Matthew. I've got some good news and some bad news. I don't think. Well, what you got, what I had, is terminal. Usually, there's no ways round it. Without very powerful magics, which we ain't gonna get. You have one choice, one chance, and it means becoming the thing you possibly hate the most. You can have some of my blood, and you'll become a vampire as well.
he
But
looks
you won't die.
confused. He does look confused at the idea, and it's just absorbing it, and is quiet for a little while. Can you make me a persuasion check, please?
Is this where Liam starts building his vampire
Vampire
were
army.
army? Yeah.
What?
I don't
Yeah.
want to persuade him. I want him to choose. I'll make a persuasion check, but I want him to choose his own. I want to
Yeah,
be as
well, this
least, at
influential.
least influential as possible. I want to give him the information and let him choose. So the role is to be neutral.
Okay. He again is just this pensive thoughtfulness.
You're gonna
And
you're gonna be a vampire, and I don't know if you realise what that means. You're gonna have an incessive hunger for blood. You will always want more blood. You will want to bite people's necks. You will want to kill people. You will want to do terrible things all the time, and you'll have to fight tooth and nail to stop it.
he says, "Oh, me and my friends were in the tunnels, exploring. My family sometimes uses them to get around places, and we were told not to go any further than certain points, but I don't know, we thought they were just being stuffy about it. They found us and killed my friend, and I got taken to this area where there was other teenagers in this room, really dark, and there was this woman, and she smelt like blood, and she spoke to us and said that she needed us to do things through this doorway. She was sending us somewhere between life and death, and that we had to go find something. I don't know much. She told more to some of the teenagers that she took, and they didn't come back. It was dark, and I don't really know who else was there. There was about 6 left when they took me, and they took me and another girl into a different area, and they bit us, and the girl turned after a couple of hours, and she was she like just did everything that they said, and you know that that's because vampires have this innate charm over people that they turn.
Yeah.
At least for the first couple of months, and it's kind of like a charm person effect. I don't know what they did with her after that, but they noticed that I wasn't, and I was just in a lot of pain, and then they realized what they'd done and who I was, and they wanted to kill me, but then one of the other vampires was arguing, and whilst they were arguing, I tried to leave. They got into a fight. They keep talking to this other one that they were having an argument with that wasn't a vampire, but he had like some kind of shadow creature coming out of him, and they were doing stuff in a different room, and I didn't know what it was all really disorientating. I was so much pain. I just ran, and I don't know how, but I got out. I transformed for a little bit, but that was the most painful bit, and it just made it all worse. And I got out of I went up a pipe and got out into London, and that's where Hush's people found me, and I asked for help. And then I stayed there, and they were asking me questions about the Crimson Serpent. And then you guys turned up. I don't want my family to know that I was bitten by vampires. They told me I shouldn't have gone that way, but I don't want to turn into a vampire. I want you to leave me.
Okay. Well, the people here will make your last moments as painless as possible.
He's sort of like nodding, and he's kind of staring off into the distance, just processing it. And you can see he's starting to cry. And he goes, "I'd like to be alone now, please."
I'll go out and tell the others what he's told me about this doorway and the teenagers being sent through to somewhere between life and death. If that means
Okay.
anything.
So you guys are obviously you guys are still in the waiting area. Westfield leads you back out, Liam, and like in that to that area, he sort of says, if you have things to do, then it's best.
We'll be off.
He doesn't want me to contact his family.
Make sure his last moments are as painless as possible. He doesn't want to become a vampire, so don't make him a vampire. If I find out you've made him a vampire, I'll be cutting your head off.
Would I?
Just saying. Don't trust nobody.
Cool. So you obviously come into the waiting room and relay all this.
He's not gonna make it. He doesn't want to become a vampire. There's no cure. So that's that. Let's go and kill some. Let's go and kill some Crimson Serpent. I don't know if he said to me that when he was down there, they had some teenagers that were in the same room as him, and they were sending them through. The woman that Cadman and myself saw, the female vampire, was sending them through a doorway where they had to do something, but he can't. But he doesn't know what they had to do. All he heard was something that the doorway was somewhere between life and death. I don't know if that means anything to you guys. Maybe think about it on the way to the station. That might give us a lead or something. But it's vampire killing time. Liam doesn't look in the least bit put out that the guy's dying now.
Wow. Okay. Well, Marcus
he's
is there.
kind of moved on. Yeah. Sorry, Karen.
Yeah. I thought you meant Marcus. I was sort of like, he's still there.
No, Matthew.
Yeah. Marcus is in the car park still. If you guys want to jump in, and is the plan to head straight to this abandoned underground area?
My
station?
Kit and stuff, or if I'd not got it all.
You've all got stuff. You've all got everything you need.
The extra stuff that we sat down and worked out. There was some of it you said that I couldn't have, that I had to go and get supplies.
That would be a trip to one of the club to get wherever it is that they're holed up.
Which is where.
So that is. So to get those specific things, you'd have to go back to. I can't remember the name of the club, but my things. Basically, you would have to go to the area. It doesn't matter where it is. You just have to go to it.
But is it London or is it like Glasgow?
Yeah, there's one in London. There's one in London. A lot of these are they're like franchises, you know. Plus, so you're able to get there if you want to. Obviously, it will add time to you to do a little shopping, but okay.
It's
might
11
be worth
o'clock.
What you're about to go into.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I'm leading to. So if you could decide that between.
Well, we'll have a chat, and you can
Yep.
you can go over what I have got and what I haven't got of that list and what I need to go, because you said I could have some of it but not all of it, and I don't know. So if we remind ourselves what that is, and then I can say to the others whether we can ask if we can stop off or not.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you guys, in the meantime, jump into the car and head off.
Yeah.
And wherever it is that you're going, you're going. Cool. In that case, we will end it there, and we will pick up either at the start of a shopping trip or at the next leg of this journey. Regardless, we'll see you hopefully next week. Thanks very much for joining us. See you later.
Guys.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Folks,
Bye.
see you later.
Thanks. Bye.